So I had a Q&A this weekend. This one guy there was super frustrated. So he's like, I gained 20 pounds. I can't find my why. I can't find my purpose. I can't find motivation. Can't find a gym. He went on and on. So I said, hey, okay, relax. Just relax. Can you find your balls? Once you locate those, I need you to grab them. After you grab them, I need you to go find some shoes. If you got some shoes, you can go walk. You can go run. As far as the gym you can't find, do you have a floor where you live? Do some push-ups. Do some sit-ups. We're waiting to find purpose. We're waiting to find why. We're waiting to find all this before we start. The thing about it is this. Start now. So when you find your purpose, you find your why, you can get after it. Stay hard.
Each thing that is wrong with you has to be a focal point. You can't look at this gigantic list and say, I gotta change all this. My God, this is crazy. No. You take off the first one. I want to be smarter. For me, that was my thing. I have to become more intelligent. I have such a severe learning disability. I had to now get that one thing and then strategize in that one problem. How can I do this? I'm not going to learn like you. I'm not going to learn like anybody else. How am I going to figure this out? So I then figured out, okay, where are my strengths here? Where are my weaknesses in learning? All right, man, how am I going to do this? And I figured out a way to do it by just strategizing. So how I learn to this day, if I have a big manual to study, one thing you have to learn early in life, I didn't learn this till later on. You can't care what anybody thinks about you. If I cared what people thought about me, you think I'd be yelling out here, doing a 105-pound ruck? This is who I am. Find out who you are, whoever that may be. Find out who you are and own that. Don't ever worry about anybody.
The Earth is constantly changing.
You do that.
The oceans that once housed dactylioceras are long gone, replaced by new seas and
You will
continents.
become the biggest bitch.
But the lessons
of
we
all
learn
time.
from these ancient creatures are
When I
timeless.
say bitch,
They remind
I
us
ain't
of the
talking about
fragility of
females.
life and the importance of
so back in
adaptation
the day,
in the face
we
of
didn't say words
change.
like that.
So,
People would
the
have
next
chipped out.
time you walk along a beach
I
or
ain't
hold
talking
a
about
fossil in your
females, I'm
hand,
talking about
take a
stack
moment
up.
to think about the
Stack
incredible
up.
journey it represents.
You need to get that
From the
list.
ancient seas of the Jurassic
Put
to
it
the
in
world
front
we
of
know
you.
today,
And start making
dactyliosaurs
that
and
list the only
dactyliosaurs
list you go
tendulostatum
from.
are more than just fossils.
And
They're a window
during
into the
this
past
list
and a reminder of the
is
resilience
how you
of
start
life.
to create the
Thanks for
calloused
joining me on
mind.
this journey through time.
You're never going to be able
If
to
you've
callous
enjoyed
your
this
mind
video, don't
by
forget to
going
like,
to this
subscribe,
magical
and
list
hit that
in the
notification bell for more
golden
adventures
tool
into the
shed
ancient world.
that makes you feel all
Until next
comfortable
time,
and
keep
fuzzy
exploring.
inside. There's no callus there. Like, I did 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours to break the Guinness Book of World Records for most pull-ups. In that time period, I did 67,000 pull-ups in 9 months. 67,000 pull-ups in 9 months. What happens to your hands is they become calloused. Calluses protect your hands against that hard, nasty, gritty-ass bar that you're gonna touch thousands and thousands of times.
so then you can come in and set the example for everybody else.
There's so many times in life you don't want to be doing what you're doing. You can't just quit. Remember this, it's in the hobby, it's in the joke, it's a lifestyle. So what you say to yourself is important. There's no coach, there's no trainer to keep you going, it's only you. So think about this, you've been working your whole life to get a seat at the table. The seat at the table is you want to be the best amongst all the best people in your career field. So you finally get that letter. It's steak, lobster, it's a big dinner. Everybody's showing up, dressed to the nines. Make sure you show up soaking wet for getting after it, working out hard. Towel around your neck. You respect the event. So make sure you put that towel over that nice chair. The whole thing is this. Don't say a word. Stay uncommon amongst uncommon people. You're never done. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. Stay hard.
And when you figure it out, when life has you gripped in a vice, and you can figure that out, that's when you overcome. That's when you overcome.
The biggest thing in life that you have to do is you have to be proud of yourself. You have to start developing that personal self-esteem. And it has to be something that it's an internal thing. And it has to come from a lot of hard work and dedication. And you really have to, I call it, like right now, I see your headphones on your head. I walk around life with so-called headphones on my head, man. I don't, really wear them, obviously, but I just have these earmuffs on that I silence out the noise, I silence out the judgment, I silence out the self-doubt, I silence out all the naysayers. And those people get in our head, and then we start getting in our head. And the most important conversation we'll ever have is one we have with ourselves. And like you were saying to yourself, man, I'm dumb, I'm this, I'm that. I was the same way. So if that's what you're constantly repeating to yourself in that internal conversation, man, that's who you're gonna be.
It happened when I could never get over the hump. I kept on feeling like I was getting over the hump. And then one little windstorm, small little windstorm would come by and push me back to scratch. It's like, why? Why am I not, I'm learning how to read now. I was a junior in high school and couldn't read that well, a fourth grade reading level, because I would cheat on everything. And I learned how to read, I learned how to write. I taught myself all these things, all these disciplines. But whenever the first real big challenge would come, that little windstorm would push me back in the hole. And I realized, man, I'm fixing stuff on a surface level. I'm all surface, man. I'm not going deep into the cellar of my mind and fixing the foundation of my soul. My soul is broken. But I knew I could fix it, but I was afraid to go back. I was afraid to face the demons of my life, because you start lying. You want anybody knowing this about you, so you start lying about who you're not.
So we all have these voices in our head. We like to not listen to them. The one that comforts us and keeps us nice and warm and cuddly and gets us cookies and milk at nighttime. We like that voice. The voice, the one we want to always hear, which is why people don't like to listen to me a lot. Some people do, some people don't. The only thing that changes you is being real. So basically, I had to have the courage to go back in it because nothing was getting done. I kept on going to that nice cuddly voice in my head saying, you know what? You don't need to do this. That's too much work, man. You've earned this. You deserve this. And that mentality got me to 297 pounds, fat, out of shape. To me, a loser. To me, making $1,000 a month and making a ton of mistakes. Because mistakes happen on the easy side of life. You take the easy road, the easy path, there's a lot of mistakes over there. The hard journey, you don't make too many mistakes over here because it's too hard. You don't want to repeat it, so it's challenging.
I was sick and tired of not facing the fact that I've allowed life to make me feel like a loser. And a lot of us allow life to do that, and we accept it. And a lot of us talk about how we believe in God. We believe in something higher than us. If that is truth, you won't allow yourself to feel that way. A lot of people don't understand that. If you really believe God did not put you on earth to be nothing. A lot of us like to visit a very uncomfortable world, like living with the seal. He visited for 30 days, an uncomfortable world. That's my lifestyle. People ask me, so why do you still do this every day? I'm 43 years old. I did 21 years in the military, now I'm a firefighter. I'm a wildland firefighter. I don't need it. I'm good. Why do you still do this? You right now are a leader. You sit in this chair right now to thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. That's why you do it. Why you get up at 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning is because you are setting the example for others to follow. So people always go, what drives you now? What should drive you now is no more you. Like you said, I'm comfortable. I'm good. It's not about you. You have to change your mindset to God gave you everything you wanted. It's pay time. You got to now start paying bills for the people in your mindset. So you're suffering now. Like when people say, why do you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning? And start creating a person about who you want to be, but that's not who you are. So that's when I start realizing, man, I'm never going to get over the hurdle. I'm always going to live on a surface level until I go deep, deep into the sewer of my mind to figure out and face all of these different demons. That's hard. It's hard. We all like social media. We all like everybody to see us for who we want to be. That's why we post beautiful things about us. That's not going to fix you. So what happened in my life was we started to get, I call it like the rucksack. A rucksack is a pack that you carry in the military, and you put all your stuff, your radios, your food, your water, all that stuff you have to carry in the military. That's your rucksack, backpack. As you're growing up, we all have a backpack. Most of ours, hopefully, is empty, and what we put in it is all the crap we go through in life. That's what is in the backpack for the civilians, and we carry it around with us. So what you have to start doing is realizing that no matter where you're at in life,
you have to do that to your mind. Your mind has to touch hardship. It has to be uncomfortable. It has to be put in a situation where it's forced to grow. If you're never forcing your mind to grow, there's no calluses. Calluses will never start to grow. So it starts there. When I was growing up, I realized that a lot of things would motivate me, like the round 14 of Rocky, man. Oh my God, there it is, man. I'm so motivated. Motivation only lasts for so long. And I call motivation crap because it only lasts for so long. Motivation is just that kindling. But basically, that motivation can get put out by a storm real quick. And a storm in our minds can be paying bills, your wife or husband on your nerves, your kids being sick, or your job getting at you, or you're not losing weight fast enough, or you failed a test. And all these things that life brings you can totally bring the storm of life and put that 1 hour of fuel out.
I went in the mirror and my mom sat me down in bed and said, "You're going to fail." That's the only advice I had. And my principal, no one had any good advice for me. I was alone. But I went to the mirror and I looked at it and I said, "My God, man, you are on your own. And what are you going to do about it?" That's when I slowly started to change my life. But, it doesn't happen that quickly. I slowly started to change when I was about 17 years old. I went to a recruiter's office, and the recruiter said, "Hey, you have to take an ASVAB test." And like I said, I had a 4th grade reading level my junior year. So, long story short, I failed that a few times. I had one more chance to take that test. And that's when I really developed my work ethic. I picked these hard things that most people think you can't finish anyway. So, you go out there, you grind, you're alone, you're in your own head. I work best alone. So those are easy. I figured out a way to kind of challenge your mind, channel it and challenge it at the same time. And I figured out a way to kind of just have an indestructible toolbox. And once you can silence all that outside interference and things that are attracting your mind to everything, you can then start to grow and realizing, I'm stressed out for no reason. This is my own little race. This is my own timeline, and this is how I'm gonna run it. I don't think enough about people that have wronged me or situations that have wronged me. Because once you come to a place where you are really happy with who you are in life, no one with you anymore. I used to be so hurt by everything in the military, and if someone did something or said something, man, I have overcome so much. I'm just in a really good headspace right now. My headspace, I own it. A lot of people own other people's headspace. They're more caught up in what other people think about them than how you feel about your own personal self. So a lot of people have their brain and their mind on rent to a whole bunch of motherfucking world.
When the mind and the body connect and you don't give yourself a way out, the only way out for me at that time was death. I'm going to be a Navy SEAL, or I'm going to die trying, period. And my body said, "Roger that. We're going to get you through this." The only way out for me at that time was death.
If I die, so be it. Everything I do, I'm not really comfortable doing. But if you choose, because if you're choosing to do something, you have 2 routes. You can go there and be a little weak person and get through barely, and that's your reputation. Or you can go through the hardest guy you can possibly be, and that's your reputation. If you're choosing to do something, attack it. Because they're going to remember you as not attacking it. So I want to be remembered. You can hate me, but there's one thing you can't say about me. I didn't attack it.
So that's what drive is about, man. And you want to get to a point where no matter if you haven't paid your bills, if you don't have the right money, you still do what you have to do to succeed in life.
I actually sat back when I was fat, nasty, out of shape, miserable, and created a human being in my mind that didn't even exist. And said, that's what I want to be. I want to be that guy. I want to be a guy that's capable of doing exactly what I'm doing today. And if you weren't born that guy, that mentally strong guy, he can be made. Woman, man, whatever the hell you are. It can be made. But in making that person, you have to be able to turn down book deals. You have to be who you are every day of your life and never care about anybody who gets in your way that said you're not doing something the proper way. I find people that I trust, which is a very small group of people who are honest and true to me, people who will die for me, and I'll die for them. And everybody else, man, do you. And I say to myself, and I let you do you. I don't judge people. I don't criticize you. You want to be a douchebag and be an ass, do whatever you want to do. I don't care, man.